Hello, I am Carolina Cuevas, APEC's PPWE Chair. As host economy, Chile has set of women's SMEs and inclusive growth as one of APEC 2019 priorities. This landmark decision calls on to APEC economies to foster women's economic empowerment and develop cross-border collaboration with a gender perspective. At the PPWE, we hope each economy focuses on reducing wage gap and promoting the participation of women in non-traditional sectors in order to achieve the goal of having women to participate equally in all economic activities. I would like to thank all economists that are working within APEC towards this goal. And in this context, I would like to thank Chinese Taipei for taking action to implement APEC Gift A+, promoting gender inclusion and smart agriculture, project in line with these APEC leading issues. Thank you, Chinese Taipei, for this fantastic initiative.
Women make up around 49.5% of the agricultural labor force in East and Southeast Asia. Female farmers can bring great benefits into smart agriculture, but several barriers hinder women's participation. In 2018, Chinese Taipei worked with PPWE, ATCWG, SMEWG, PPSTI, and PPFS to launch APEC Gifts A+, promoting gender inclusion in smart agriculture. This project promotes the use of gender analysis to encourage women in the APEC region to enter smart agriculture. Technology innovation, sustainable development, and gender inclusion. These are the three main solutions of APEC Gifts A+. Gendered innovation approaches allow female farmers in the APEC region to harness the opportunities brought by innovation and sparkle in smart agriculture. Female farmers sparkle in Chinese Taipei. The Amis people call themselves Bansa. Bansa is our name. If everyone was committed to organic farming, there'd be less pollution, and it would be better for our environment. When we first started this farm, there were 3 reasons why people thought we wouldn't succeed. First, they thought organic farming wasn't possible because pesticides can't be avoided. Second, it was because I'm an indigenous person. Third, I'm a woman. They didn't think it was possible for a woman to be a leader in agriculture. Women often need to consider their working hours. They worry about not being able to take care of their family and children at the same time. However, in agriculture, it's possible to decide when to work, so you have time to look after your kids and your home. Your gender and identity shouldn't restrict the kind of work you do. You should be able to just get on with your work and your life. Traditionally, agriculture has been seen as a labor-intensive industry that usually attracts men rather than women. Women think they can't cope with the work, but this is a stereotype. If we use smart management systems, then it's not necessarily true that women can't do the job just as well. Our company is currently developing a new form of seed that can resist Panama disease. That's a fungal infection that infects banana plants. Tissue culturing is a very precise task that requires immense care. It is highly technical work. So we've been prioritizing hiring local women. Once they've been trained to use the technology, they'll be irreplaceable. Let's take a look at our strategy room. Agriculture 4.0 is a project we're always talking about. It's one of the key projects under the Council of Agriculture this year. We're installing sensors in fields. This sensor can detect the EC value of the soil. It measures temperature and humidity, as well as water content. When it comes to harvesting, we look at the average accumulated temperature value. Big data analytics can help us figure out the best time to harvest high-value crops. I think we've got a lot of young farmers interested in using smart technology. They really want to try. Of course, this helps save a lot of time, labor, and effort. It boosts productivity. I don't consider this to be farming, but rather a form of business. We convert agricultural goods into products and then sell them, so it's a business. We need to break free from the restrictions imposed by gender. Only then can we really realize our potential and maximize productivity. Everyone should think like this. Female farmers sparkle in the Philippines. Before we learned more about agriculture, our lives were usually just spent at home.
The boss was preferring a guy or a male as a research associate.
Agriculture as a wider science has a larger scope. Work is not only done in the fields, but in the academy as an agriculturist, a researcher, a policymaker, or an entrepreneur.
The Philippine Commission on Women is the government's policy-making and coordinating body for women's empowerment and gender equality concerns. So we've partnered with Chinese Taipei in the APEC Gifts project, which focuses on women, agriculture, and technology. When we talk of agriculture and farming, the image that usually comes out is that a farmer is a man who plows the field, and women are usually invisible. When women are involved in technology, they can contribute better to agriculture and eventually take leadership positions to be able to craft better policies and programs for their communities.
Women are more patient, resourceful, and can think of more ways to make farm work much easier. I started a training center where I teach best practices to my fellow women so they can find a livelihood. Through planting seedlings and selling the produce, they were able to help uplift their families.
In designing our tools, we consider the needs of the farmers and their families. It's important that we design not just for men, but also for women. Traditionally, women have used notebooks and pens to record their expenses and daily activities. But using this app makes that easier. Aside from recording their expenses and activities, they gain new insights into the current status of their rice crops.
SpidTech is an Android application developed by Team Sarai to identify crop pests and diseases. So, at the top of the app, you can see a pest and access the disease library. At the bottom of the app has a function that can help identify pests and diseases by either taking a quiz or taking a picture of the actual insect specimen or the disease. This app empowers women because although women are not allowed to spray pesticides, they can help monitor pests and diseases using this application.
We are called Project Sarai, and I work under a project that uses 3 levels of monitoring crops. So the first one is it utilizes satellite images, and then the second one is drones, and then the last one is it's called Automatic Weather Station, or AWS. All these information go to agriculturists, and then they process it and analyze it, and then these information go to the farmers.
So with this innovation, yung role ng women in this technology, they are not seen as an oppressor or disadvantage to women, but this is a great equalizer, highlighting their role as the keeper of information in the house. Somehow they pick this information and make this information available to the leader of the household.
With the technology now that farming has become easier, it has welcomed more women to be involved in it.
When we learned more about agriculture, it became a great help to us, such as in being able to send our kids to school.
Do I give priority to gender or to in choosing staff for the project? The main factor is their capability in using these technologies.
Women can do whatever men can do in the field.
Women's role in agriculture is actually very important, and they should be recognized.
Chinese Taipei has published a new toolkit with strategies for promoting and supporting women's participation in smart agriculture. Together, let's integrate gender perspectives into smart agriculture for sustainable and inclusive growth in the APEC region.